morning, good people of the internet. Thank you for tuning in again. Let's explore some energies of ourselves. Today, I want you to start kneeling and have your butt meet your heels. And if this doesn't feel comfortable to you, you can always just start kneeling. And then if your knees are sensitive, you can grab a pillow, you can grab a blanket, whatever it feels nice and cushy for your knees, okay? As always, take this at your own pace. Don't feel any pressure to perform. Take care of your body, take some breaks, drink some water, play with your kids, let them jump on your back. It's all good. Okay, we're gonna start with another symbolic hand shape. This one's called the Shiva Linga Mudra. So your left palm will be down, and then your right hand is in a thumbs up. You're gonna place your right hand on top of your left, and then leave this at the sternum. This is the energy of charging up, of powering yourself up. And I want to empower ourselves today with the energy of the throat or the throat chakra or just the energy of communication, which is a profound thing, right? When you communicate, you're taking your inner world and putting it on the vehicle of your voice and then giving it to the external world. It's the one thing that really allows you to make your inner world known to other people. Of course, there's gestures and body language, but it's the most direct route. Now, I want to turn this energy inward today, this communicative energy. I want you to be really aware of the way that you're speaking to yourself. And this isn't always so obvious, right? Because sometimes the things we think are subtle, or they're in our subconscious, but they're feelings or like ideas that run through us, right? Like maybe if you can't hit a certain pose, then this feeling of inadequacy comes up. I've felt that many of times. But this power of listening really allows us to see those things for what they are, just little temporary blips, and then gives us the power of choice to return to ourselves as we really are, which I believe is love. So be really aware of the way that you're communicating with yourself and what's transpiring in your mind's eyes, and see if you can just keep it mellow, keep it light. Take your hands in the shape if they're not there anymore, close your eyes, and then we'll tune into the element of the throat chakra, which is space, both physical and mental. So just take a quick body scan, take a slow drink of breath in through your nose, and then see if you can scan from your toes to your head, decently quick. And then as you exhale, drain from your head to your toes. Find 2 more big breaths, dedicating yourself to listening and communicating positivity. 1 more big breath here, charging yourself up with the ability to listen and discern. When you think you're full of air, sip in just a little bit more. Little bit more. Little bit more. Hold the breath. And then just listen. And then let it all go. Open your eyes, sweep your arms up high towards the sky. You're gonna cactus your arms and flex your sides. And then tilt your elbows up and forward, your wrists back and down. Lift your heart, big, big inhale. And then exhale, bring your hands to the ground, find a tabletop position. And then start to move your spine forward, backwards, laterally, whatever feels good to you first thing in the morning. Find your breath. And allow yourself to be loose. Allow yourself to be free. Keep it mellow. All right. From these spinal movements, you'll walk your hands back towards your knees. You'll sit up on your heels or kneel, depending on what you need. Interlace your hands behind your back and then take your fists to your right hip. Then you're gonna hug your right elbow in towards the spine and then drop your right ear to your right shoulder. Now breathe into the left side of your neck and chest. And then as you exhale, let your chin fall in towards the center of the chest. Feel the back of the neck stretch. The chest is still moving up and forward even though your chin's there. And then as you inhale, roll your head back in between your shoulder blades. Feel the front of the throat opening up. And then give it a couple of rounds back and forth just to open up through the left side of the neck. Just letting your head loll. Just creating space between the jawbone and the collarbone. Find one more big breath here. Nice. Right hand to the right hip. Left arm sweeps in front of the face to the right. Find a big breath into your left side body. And then turn your heart up towards the ceiling a little bit more. One more big breath here. Dropping the shoulders, making length in the neck. And then take your left hand to your right thigh. And then just reach your right arm towards the back of the room. From here, send your right butt bone forward and your belly button backwards. And then feel that tiny little twisting space at the low trunk. Find a big breath in. Go a little bit further. Inhale, reach your right arm up and overhead. And then give yourself a hug. And then from here, you'll wrap your left arm underneath your right into eagle arms. Send your chin and your elbows up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, pull your elbows into your belly. Do that 2 more times. Create space in the neck as you do so. Pull in as you exhale. You can always do this kneeling up on the knees too. Big inhales and big exhales. On your next inhale, you'll release the arms up high towards the sky. And then take your hands behind you, tense your fingers, just lift your heart for this first round, send your tail down to the floor, and then breathe into the tubular core. Let it widen, front, back, and sides, take up space. And then hug the spine as you exhale. Nice, and then you'll sweep your arms up and forward. Cactus them again. Tilt, elbows up and forward, wrists back and down, squeeze the shoulder blades. And then interlace your hands behind your back again. This time you're taking the fists to the left hip. Hug the left elbow in towards the spine, drop the left ear to the left shoulder. The chest plate still has an arc upwards. Now breathe into the right side of your neck. As you exhale, drop your chin towards your chest, but don't let the chest cave in. Now take a big breath into the back of your neck. And then as you exhale, roll your head back in between the shoulder blades. Breathe into the front of your neck. And then keeping the left elbow hugged in, you'll just roll your head back and forth a couple of times. Let it loll off. Feel some pleasure in your right side. And even though we're not doing big moves, just notice your tone. Notice where your thoughts are going. Notice the internal space. We'll get to big moves soon. Left hand to the left hip. Right arm reaches to the left side of the room. Turn your heart up towards the ceiling. Breathe into your right side. Find one more big breath, breathing in between the rib cage and the pelvic bones. And then you'll take your right hand to your left thigh. Your left arm will reach to the back of the room. And then you'll think about your left butt moving forward, your belly button moving backwards. Feel that tiny space twisting at the base of the trunk. Right shoulder blade moves to the left chest. Rotate a little bit further. Breathe. Communicate to yourself that you can go further. You could. Centimeter. Inhale, left arm up and overhead. Give yourself a little hug. Make it more of a hug than like a yoga move. Good, and then you'll wrap right arm underneath left. Find eagle arms, lean backwards. Bring your elbows to your belly as you exhale. 2 more of those, keeping it light in the heart. Open through the throat. And directing towards positivity or neutrality in the mind's eye. Elbows into the belly. Release your arms up high towards the sky, shoulders stay down, neck is long. And then cactus your arms. Find your tilt, squeezing your shoulder blades. Open your fingers wider, feel the webs. And then take your hands down to the earth behind you. Fingers point forward. This time you can lift your hips and your heart. Find a big inhale here. As you sit down, stick out your tongue, make a little noise. Good, come forward. Find a cow pose, arcing your back. Tuck your toes and then send your hips high for downward facing dog. Should feel really nice on your quads after being in that seat for a long time. Okay, and then you can move your pillow or blanket or whatever towards the sides. We won't need it till later. If you need some more padding for your knees, you can always grab it again. Take what you need. You got nobody to impress but yourself. And it's not about impressing yourself, it's just about being with yourself kindly. Ripple forward to a plank pose, big inhale. Lower down to your knees, stick out your butt, pull in your gut, and then lower to your chest. Then your chin hits. Take a breath here, breathing in between the chin and the collarbones. And then press your hands into the earth so your heart hovers, and then start to drag the hands back so the heart can come up and forward, cobra. And then lower down to your third eye. Lift up again, maybe no hands in this cobra. And then lower down to the third eye. You'll lift up again, and then reach your arms out in front of you like Superwoman. And then bend your elbows to the sides as you exhale, squeeze. Elbows down, wrists backwards. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze the backs of the armpits. And then take your hands next to your rib cage. Press backwards, child's pose. Sit up on your heels. Tense your fingers behind your feet. Lift your hips, lift your heart. Find a big inhale. If you got a wall, sit back down as you exhale. Come forward to all fours, and then lift your right leg back behind you in space. From here, I want you to bend your right knee, and then drive your belly button in towards the spine. Now keep the belly button driving in towards the spine, and then give 3 little pulses of your right foot up towards the ceiling with an exhale. Good, knee to nose exhaling. Don't round your spine. Just the energy of the knee to the nose. One more time. Good, now reach your right leg back, big inhale. Bring your knee to your nose, let it touch this time, let the spine round. Do that again. Open the toes as you reach back, heart forward. Knee to nose. Last one like this, big inhale. You'll bring your knee to your nose. Good, reach backwards. Bend your elbows backwards, lower just your chin to the earth. And then straighten your arms. Bring your knee to your nose. Reach the right leg back, the heart forward, the neck long. Lower down to your chin. Straighten your arms. One more, knee to nose. Lengthen it out. Keep your right leg straight, lower to your chin. Straighten your arms. Step your right foot next to your right thumb. Sweep your arms to the sky. Dip your hips low, but send the pubic bone up and forward in an arc. Find one more big breath here. Get a really long neck, soft shoulders. And then a half split, straightening your right leg and folding. Halfway lift, send your heart forward and your tail back. Fold back down as you exhale. Crawl forward. Tuck your left toes, pick up your left knee off the ground. And then step your left foot to the top of the mat and release your neck, folding. Halfway lift, heart forward, tail back. Fold back down, release your neck, let it be long, spacious. Sweep your arms up high, big inhale, gather some energy. Take your hands to your heart and then release them by your sides. Close your eyes and then feel the current of the blood moving through your body. Or the currency of energy. Arms high, big inhale. Forward fold as you exhale. Hands on the ground, right leg steps back to a lunge, heart looks forward. And then a downward facing dog as you exhale. Come forward to a plank pose, big inhale. Lower down to your knees and then just lower halfway. It's a knee chaturanga. Now stay here for 3 breaths. Dig your knees into the earth. Reach your tail backwards, your heart forwards. Get the sides of your neck long. Find one more big breath. Lower down, chest, chin. And then straighten your legs, lift up, cobra, no hands. This time, reach your arms back behind you, interlace them, straighten the arms, lift the heart up and forward, squeeze the legs together, and then send the tail back towards the space between the heels. Back of the neck stays long, heart lifts up. Find one more big breath here, breathing into your belly like a buoy. And then release your hands next to your ribs, press back to a child's pose. Come forward to all fours, lift your left leg back behind you in space. And then drive your belly to your spine, bend your left knee. Good, 3 pulses towards the ceiling, turning on your left glute, driving the belly to the spine continuously. Exhale. Now the energy of the knee to the nose without rounding the back of the spine. And then you'll reach your left leg back in space. And then bring your knee to your nose, rounding the spine, for real. Reach back again. Open the spaces between the toes, lengthen the neck, knee to nose. One more time like this. Reach out. And then pull in. Good, you'll reach out. And then lower to your chin only. Just a little bit of weight on it. And then inhale, straighten your arms. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, reach the left leg out. Lower to the chin again. Straighten the arms. Bring the knee to the nose. Last one, get really long through the belly. Lower to the chin. Straighten the arms. Good, you're gonna step your left foot next to your left thumb. Sweep your arms high towards the sky, dipping the hips low. And then imagine lifting up and out of the pelvis with the lowest belly. And then on an exhale, straighten your left leg and fold, half split. Halfway lift, heart forward, tail back. Flex the left toes, fold. Crawl forward, tuck the right toes, pick up the right knee, and then step to the top and fold. Interlace your hands behind your back this time. Send your fists forward to the front of the mat, and then take your head off. Make sure the back of your neck is really long. And then listen to the music of your body. What does it feel like in this shape? What does it feel like after moving a little bit first thing in the morning, or whenever you're watching this online? Release your hands, halfway lift, big inhale. Fold back down, releasing the back of the neck. Exhale. Sweep your arms up high, find a big inhale. And then fold right back down, forward fold. Left leg steps back to a lunge, big inhale. Downward facing dog as you exhale. Come forward to a plank pose. And then lower down in one piece to your belly this time. Lift up, cobra, no hands. Swim the arms backwards as you exhale, leave the heart up. Interlace your hands behind your back. And then just lift your right leg 3 times on an exhale. Here we go. Big inhale. Right leg only. Feel the right glute squeezing into the right wrist. Now switch sides. 3 times left leg. Keep the back of the neck long. All right, here we go. Both legs 3 times. Feel your glutes working through your wrists. Good, and then release. Take your hands next to your ribs. Tuck your toes. Inhale straight up to a plank pose. Down dog as you exhale. Right leg goes high, big inhale. Step your right foot next to your right thumb. Drop your left knee. Sweep your arms high, find a big inhale. Exhale, sweep backwards, half split. Maybe no hands this time. Inhale, sweep forward, reach the arms high. Cactus the arms, exhale, flex your belly. Tilt backwards, big inhale. And then interlace your hands behind your back as you exhale, straight spine. Tuck your left toes, pick up your left knee. And then take your fists to your right hip. You can make this small because it might be hard to balance and do it at the same time. But you're going to drop your right ear to your right shoulder and then let the head roll from the back body to the front body. You're doing a semicircle. It's the right side of a circle up around your neck. One more, just letting it loll, depressing the right shoulder. Depress the shoulders to elevate the heart. Okay, and then find your head neutral on your spine. And then step your left foot to the top of the mat. Right hand, right hip, side bend over towards the right. Find your breath. Go a little further than you want to. Big inhale. Good, and then sweep the left arm in front of the face. Take your left hand to your left low back. Right hand, right low back. Lift your heart for a standing camel. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, big inhale. Flutter your lips, fold. Right leg steps back, big inhale. Down dog as you exhale. Come forward, plank pose. Lower down one piece as you exhale. Swim your arms backwards right away, interlace them, pick up both legs, and then hang here for 3 breaths, keeping the back of the neck long and the balls of the feet together. Listen to your body, last breath. If it's getting really intense, can you remind yourself that it's temporary and healthy? Release your hands, tuck your toes, lift up, plank pose, big inhale. Down dog as you exhale. Take a big breath in. Make some noise, lion's breath. Yeah, the weirder the better. Lift your left leg, big inhale. Step your left foot next to your left thumb. Drop your right knee, sweep your arms high, big inhale. Sweep your arms back to a half split as you exhale. Inhale, sweep the arms forward again. Cactus the arms. Start to lean back, big inhale. And then you're going to interlace your hands behind your back. Tuck your right toes, pick up your right knee, and then place your fists on your left hip, hugging the left elbow in towards the spine. From here, left ear to the left shoulder, and then you'll just roll the head softly, carefully, really stable through the legs. Keep the breath on the right side of the neck. One more big one. Cool. Come back to center with your head. Step to the top of the mat. Left hand on the left hip. Right arm reaches to the left. Big old side bend. Turn your heart up towards the ceiling a little more. And then sweep your right arm in front of your face. Take it to the low back. Left hand to the low back. Lift up and forward with your heart. Down with your tail. Forward fold over your legs. Halfway lift, heart goes forward. Fold back down, take off your head. Left leg steps back, big inhale. Down dog as you exhale. Come forward to a plank pose. This time lower halfway down, chaturanga. And then point your toes, straighten your arms, find a back bend, upward facing dog. Downward facing dog as you exhale. Lift your right leg, find a big inhale. Bend your knee and stack your right hip on top of your left. Give this 2 more breaths. And then think about your left thigh spinning to the left side of the mat. Your left hip crease pulling to the back of the mat. Find one more big breath. Bring the right knee to the right upper arm. Give it a little tap. And then back to your stack. Big inhale. And then to the left upper arm as you exhale. And then back to your stack. And then you're going to step your right foot in between your hands. Seal your left heel down so it's perpendicular with your right. Cartwheel your hands up into a warrior two. And then sink in. If you feel balanced enough, close your eyes. Flip your right palm, reach backwards for a reverse warrior, peaceful. And then only move your right arm forward. Reach it so it's parallel to the ground. Reach your fingers wide, and then drop your left ear to your left shoulder. Keep your legs stable, let your neck roll. Find one more big breath here. Bring your right forearm to your right thigh. Left arm reaches to the front of the room, side angle. Find your breath. You can stay here. If you want more, you can bring your hand to your right ankle. If you want the most, you could reach your right arm forward. Find your breath. Turn your heart to the ceiling. Find length in the neck. One more big breath. Take your left hand down. Spin to the pinky toe edge of your left foot. Stack your right foot on top, side plank. You can let your left ear fall to your left shoulder. Step your right foot behind your left leg, find a big old back bend. And then you'll flip over. Maybe you keep your right leg high as you take a vinyasa. Upward facing, big inhale. Downward facing as you exhale. Give yourself some space, 3 breaths here. You could take a child's pose. You could put up your man bun. No, just me? One more big breath here. Alrighty. Lift your left leg, find a big inhale. Bend your knee and stack your hip. This time the right thigh is rotating to the right hip crease is moving towards the back of the mat. The left knee is lifting up high, and then you're keeping even through your left and right shoulders. Get the breath below the belly button. One more big one. Left knee to the right upper arm, twist. Back up to your stack, big inhale. To the left upper arm, go wide. Back to your stack, big inhale. Bring your knee to your nose and then step your left foot in between your hands. Seal your right heel down so the feet are perpendicular. Cartwheel the right arm up. Sink into your warrior two. Give yourself some space. If you feel balanced, close your eyes. Go inward. Feel inner space as opposed to outer space. Flip your left palm, reach backwards. And then make sure your neck is long. Send your left arm only forward to the front of the mat. Open the fingers wide, reach away from yourself pretty vigorously, and then drop your right ear to your right shoulder. And then just roll out through your neck. Let it feel good. Or if it doesn't feel good, come to neutral. Left forearm to the left thigh, right arm reaches forward. Side angle. Now remember, you got options. You could keep it here. You could take the left hand to the left ankle. Or if you want the most, left arm forward. I want you to be really aware of the neck, yeah? So if you are reaching both arms forward, watch out for shoulders up by the ears. Keep them down. One more big breath. Right hand down. Spin to the pinky toe edge of the right foot. And then stack the left foot on top of the right. You could drop your right ear to your right shoulder if you want. Just keep finding that breath. Squeeze the right butt up into the left. And then maybe you step your left leg behind you. Find big old back bend, long neck, of course. And then you'll flip over. Maybe keep your left leg high. Take a 3-legged vinyasa. Upward facing, big inhale. Downward facing as you exhale. Come forward to a plank pose again. Lower down to your knees, child's pose. Take a sacred pause, just one breath. See if you can empty your mind's eye completely. Then sit up on your heels. Tense your fingers behind your feet. Lift your hips, lift your heart. Find a big one here. Sit down, make noise, lion's breath. Come forward to all fours. Tuck the toes, send the hips up high, downward facing dog. Bend the knees a lot, sink the butt to the heels, and then think about jumping to the top of the mat. Maybe you get a little air time, maybe you just step, maybe you stack your hips over your shoulders, and then fold. Once you're at the top of the mat, bend your knees, press your thighs into your belly, and then reach up and forward, chair pose. Find your breath, find your breath, find your breath. Sink your butt a little bit lower. Find one more big breath here. Cool, then pick up your left heel to your glute so you're balancing on one leg. Start to sweep your arms backwards. As you do so, kick your left leg backwards, warrior 3. Find your breath. Pulse your left heel up to the ceiling 3 times while you drive your belly button up towards the ceiling as well. Here we go. 3 exhales. Good, and then slowly bend into your right knee. Point your left toes to the left as you lower the foot. Cartwheel your left arm to the back of the mat. Warrior 2. Peaceful warrior, big inhale. Neck release as you exhale, right arm forward, left ear to the left shoulder. Find a big breath here. Good, exhale, sweep forward. Take your right hand to your right ankle, side angle. You're just passing through. Sweep your left arm and then straighten your right leg. Find a triangle pose. Find your breath. And then maybe, just maybe, right arm reaches forward. Lift the kneecaps, lift the soles of the feet. Find one more big breath here. All right, take your right hand down. Crawl your hands in between your legs. Turn your toes towards the left. And then see if you can fold. Take off your head. Now turn your legs into stone and just sway from side to side. Get into the low waist. And then walk your hands back behind your feet. Bend your elbows and then see if you can lower your third eye to the earth. And then roll to the crown of the head. Maybe you just stay here. Feel what it is to put some weight in your head but keep a long neck. Maybe you press into your hands, lift up your heels. Maybe you go for it all the way. Find a tripod handstand, lifting up through the legs. Keep space in the neck. Keep more weight in the hands than in the head. Feel free with your legs. And if you're not headstanding, don't worry, we're coming back to you now. Headstanders, come on down. See if you can lower your heels first. And then lift up, halfway lift, everybody. Fold, flutter your lips. Crawl towards the front of the mat. Right hand down, left limbs up, half moon. Maybe you pick up your right hand to your heart. Find your breath. And then slowly, carefully, you're gonna bend into your right knee, take your left hand down, hold both hands at your heart in a chair pose. Close your eyes, calm your face. Maybe find a little buoyancy in this chair. And then sweep your arms up high, find a big inhale. Forward fold as you exhale. Take off your head in every sense of those words. One more big breath just to observe the way you're communicating to yourself, both obviously, ostensively, and subtly, or subconsciously. Halfway lift, big inhale. Fold back down as you exhale. Bend the knees, press the thighs in towards the belly, and then sweep your arms up and forward, chair. Find your breath. Start to shift weight to your left foot. Pick up your right heel to your glute. Just squeeze it in. And then slowly sweep your arms backwards. Send your right leg backwards. Find a warrior 3. Get the foot as high as the head. And then drive the belly up and towards the spine. Take 3 pulses with the right foot. Big exhales. Here we go. Very nice, friends. Bend into the left knee, turn the right toes towards the right, and then softly put the right foot down. Cartwheel, warrior 2. See, I told you you'd get hot. Peaceful warrior, big inhale. Send your left arm forward, neck release. One big breath here. And then you pass through your side angle into a triangle pose. You can always shorten the stance. Find a big inhale here. Get shorter on your right side so you can get longer on your left side. And then you can reach the right arm forward. And if you want, reach the left arm forward. Find your breath. Lift the kneecaps, lift the pelvic floor, rotate left lung up and to the right. One more big breath. Neutral or positive face. Hands down to the ground. Turn your left toes to the right. This time, everybody's gonna turn the right toes out, the left toes up, and then bend into the right knee, picking up your heart. Skandasana. As you exhale, both feet to the ground, straighten both legs. Switch sides as you inhale. Left toes to the left, right toes up. Big inhale. Exhale back to center. Now keep switching. Inhale to the right. Exhale center. Inhale left. Exhale center. One more round to the right. Exhale center. To the left. Exhale center. Crawl to the front. Plant your left hand. Pick up your right limbs. Half moon pose. Find your breath. Find the length in your sides. Maybe, just maybe, your left hand comes to your heart. Find your breath. Just two more. Carefully bend the left knee, sweep it next to the right knee, take your hands on top of your heart, and then just stand up tall. Close your eyes, and then find some gratitude for yourself for showing up this morning or afternoon or whenever. And then put that energy of love in your hands, and then take your hands up to your throat really softly, the heels of the hands together. See if you can make space between the collarbones and the jaw. Take a big breath in, ujjayi, making a little noise like you're fogging a mirror. In through the nose. Out through the nose. One more time, just feeling, just paying attention, not using any words, making space. Good, and then open your eyes. Take your head off. Put it to the side, come back into feeling, reach your arms high, big inhale. Forward fold as you exhale. Halfway lift, big inhale. Bend your knees, flatten your hands on the ground, bring your knees to your armpits, and then shift forward to a crow pose, picking your heels up to your glutes. Keep your breath long, keep your neck long. One more big one here. If you have a hopping back practice through Vinyasa, you can take that. If not, just step back. We'll meet in child's pose. Sink your butt towards your heels. Okay, and then sit up on your heels or come up to kneeling. I'll show you where we're going from here. This is where you might want to bring your softness back into the picture. And if you don't have anything around you, no big deal, just keep it light. Don't bring that much weight into the chin. All right, we're gonna play with a little chin stand or chin stand prep. So you might wanna watch me first before you do this. You'll have your hands in front of your soft thing or blanket. If you have yoga bricks, it'd be great to put them right in front of your hands here, about shoulder width. If you don't even worry about it. Okay, check it out. You're gonna find a short down dog, like 3/4 of a down dog. So it's not super tight like this, not long, not regular, it's just short. Then from here, you're gonna lift up your right leg, start to shift your weight forward into plank, and then you're gonna lower down like chaturanga, but let your chin come to the earth or your soft thing. Maybe you just stay here and bend the left knee and straighten it. Maybe you kick the right leg up, follow it with the left leg, and give most of your weight into your hands, little bit into your chin, and then come up to chin stand. It's hard to talk in this position. Yeah? All right, give it a try. Be very, very careful. If this feels like it's not for you, maybe you listen to that inner voice here. It's not weakness taking care of yourself. It's really strength. All right, I'll show you the other side and the prep, just in case you want to practice what leads up to this. Here we go. Short down dog. Left leg goes high. Come forward like plank pose, and then lower to your chin. Maybe you just stay here. Maybe you just bend your right knee and then straighten it. Notice where the weight is in your hands. Use your knuckles, use your pads, and then maybe if you want it all, left leg kicks, right leg follows. If you're more advanced, you can press into your hands, take your chin off the ground. Maybe. And if you're like, certainly about done with that one, take a child's pose. If you want a couple more breaths to play, play. Please. That's what I want the most for you. Freedom, play, joy, things that don't feel like quarantine. Alrighty, everybody's gonna make their way up towards kneeling. If you want that blanket or soft thing under your knees, great. Take your hands to your low back. Find a good old-fashioned camel pose, sending your elbows together, your heart high, your tail down, and then just find 3 breaths here. Breathe into that tubular core. Remember, it's not just up and down energy, it's forward and backwards. And then if you want more diagonals, then you can split those into more. There's so much awareness to be had. One more big breath. Come back to a neutral spine. And then sink your butt towards your heels. Round your spine. Bring your chin in towards your chest. Get your shoulders away from your ears. Find a big breath into this rounded cat-like spine. And then come back up to kneeling. Sweep your arms up high. Take your hands together like so. Send your arms forward, super straight. Move your heart forward towards your fists. You could tuck your toes here if you'd like. And then lean back as far as you feel comfortable. So check it out. I'm hinging backwards. Right about there it feels like a little sus, but I'm like, I'd be safe here. If I went any further, probably wouldn't be safe. Okay, check it out. You're gonna flick the tail up towards the head. Your pelvis is flicking up, so it's almost like a cow shape in the pelvis. And then tuck the tail, think cat shape in the pelvis. If you feel like you could go a little further, go further. Find 3 more. Big inhale, sending the tail up. And then exhale, sending the tail down. 2 more. Really activate through the pelvis. Rotate. Tuck. 1 more. See if you can imagine the ball and socket joints of the femoral head in the hips. Tuck the tail. Sweep your arms high. And then sit on your heels. From here, I want you to find your hands on your knees and then just round into that cat spine again. Then from here, take your left hand to your right thigh. Sweep your right arm up and back on a diagonal this time. Send your right butt forward, your belly button backwards like at the beginning. Find a big inhale here. Open up through your right side. And then give yourself a hug. Tell yourself you love yourself and actually mean it and actually receive it. And then sweep your arms up high towards the sky. Take your hands to your knees, round. Bring your chin into your chest so you can feel the back of the neck lengthen. Counter out that chin stand. And then right hand to the left thigh. Left arm sweeps up and back on a diagonal. Left butt is moving forward. And then you're lengthening through your left side. Sending your right shoulder blade to your left chest. Find one more big breath here. Rotate, rotate, rotate. Press past your limit. And then give yourself a hug, round it. Let it be soft, let it be loving. Cool. And then from here, you'll side saddle your hips one way or the other. If you have a blanket, great. You can lay it back behind you. If you have issues with putting weight on your neck, I want you to send your legs forward, reach your arms high, and then fold. Paschimottanasana. If you don't, I'd like you to take a shoulder stand. So you can lay on your blanket with the shoulder blades. If you don't have one, don't worry. Then you're gonna rock your legs into your belly. Catch your low back. Hug the elbows in towards one another. And then find 3 breaths sending your legs straight up. Again, if you have neck problems, you're just folding over your legs in a seat. Find the plumb line. Send your feet towards the front of the mat. Hips towards the back of the mat. Stack up. And then slowly bend your knees. If you're able, send your legs behind you into a plow pose. If not, meet our other friends in Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold. Breathe into the back of the neck. Breathe into the back body in general. Engage the chest and the belly. Feel the back widen. And then super slowly, you'll roll down vertebra by vertebra onto your back, finding your final resting shape, Shavasana. Give yourself a moment here. You can remove the blanket. And then see if you can practice the profound art of listening. Just listen for a moment or two and effectively grant yourself peace. If you have the time, please stay on your back. Just continue to listen for a couple more minutes, or whatever time permits. And if you don't, start to move your fingers, your toes, your arms, your legs, your hips, your shoulders, your core, your neck, your crown. And then stretch yourself out like you just woke up. Roll over to one side or the other, or just sit straight up. And then you'll find yourself in a seat. Left palm is open, right hand thumbs up. Plug them in, Shiva Linga Mudra, the energy of charging yourself or empowering yourself. Take a moment to thank yourself for listening, to thank yourself for speaking to yourself kindly. And then remember, we have so many thoughts throughout the day. It's really empowering to be able to listen to them and to discern whether they serve us or not. Keep being gentle with yourself. Keep noticing yourself. Keep the allowance of the dark, but the focus on the light. Find one more big breath here. Take your hands in prayer. Thumb knuckles to your third eye. Breathe into your brain. Thank it for all that perception that it allows you. And then bow to yourself. And by doing so, you're effectively bowing to others. Because we're not separate. Thank you for sharing your time. Thank you for listening. Namaste. Thank you also to Outfit for having me on their page again. I'm really digging this now. It's pretty fun. Hope you have a great morning. Boop.